सब अपनी जिंदगी लगभग 25% जी चुके हैं, लेकिन किया क्या है हम में से किसी ने?
कुछ नहीं।
1, 2, 3, go!
लोगों को हंसाना एक आर्ट है, डैड. I think there's a real profession in comedy.
Hi all, it's Sailesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. It's great to have your company. Be talking to the director Zoya Akhtar about the new Netflix film, The Archies, which is originally from a 1940s comic called The Archies, and it's American. It's very popular in India, and they've now made a film with those characters. Let's go and find out more. So tell me a little bit about what drew you to this. The Archies is not a big thing in the UK, so you'll have to kind of put it in context for people who know very little or nothing.
Okay, so The Archies is an American comic book, and I think it started in 1939, 1940, early 40s. It, for some reason, was very big in India, urban India, and I was born in 1972, and from the time I can remember, I had access to Archie comics. Right. And from the time I started reading, Archie was one of the things that was my go-to escape. It was the only comic book at that time that was about regular teenagers and teen life. It's set in a fictional town called Riverdale, and it's got very iconic, lovable, it's got a gang of friends, and yeah, and it's about their life and their heartbreaks and their friendships, yeah. And their, yeah.
Why do you think it was so popular in India? This is not just I mean, I know because I've seen it when I've been in India, basically, and I know it's very popular because a lot of my cousins had the Archies, you know, the comic books, the magazine, you know. Why do you think it is popular in India?
I think, like I said, I think it was the only comic that was about urban teenagers, firstly. And secondly, I think it was a very innocent comic. There was innocence, there was wholesomeness to it, which really Indians, I think, respond to. I think there was a value system in it, there was a family in it. You know, things that the romance was very innocent. So those were the things that I think really clicked with the Indian reader at that time. And this was a pre-liberalization, so it was also a portal to the West. We didn't have access to as much content as we have now, so it was a glimpse into another world.
Why do you say it amongst the Anglo-Indian community? Was that important, or is it just like a way of making it seem a little bit more Western, to give it a little bit more of a kind of crossover feel?
Yeah, I think it started like that because we wanted to retain the original names, the original character names, and the original ethos, you know, of this community. And so it had to lean in, to the Christian community in India. We had seen Goa done before on film, and the Anglo-Indian community hasn't been explored as much. So that's where it started. And then we realized that it was a really good match because they had a vibrant music culture, they had dances, they have the fashion was similar because they were westernized in their fashion. They have a very robust food culture, which the Archie comic had. So everything just blended well together, you know. And also the places that they stayed in, the hill stations. There was a concentration of the Anglo-Indian communities in places like Makalski Ganj, Landor. So it just all blended well.
It looks beautiful, the sets and stuff. It's hard to believe that it's shot in India, but you obviously created those kind of environments. Tell us a little bit about how you went about creating that. I know you're not set, but you obviously had a big hand in how it's put together and the look of it.
Well, I work with an incredible team, and my production designer is actually an English lady called Susan Kaplan Mehranji, who's lived here for years and years. She married an Indian man, and she's lived here for years. And she's an absolute genius. And when we set out to do this, we wanted to create a world which was 60s hill station India, and that with that colonial architecture, and blend that with a storybook, comic book aesthetic. So it needed to be a bit dreamy. and a little idyllic, because that was the world that you read. When you opened Riverdale, you were in an idyllic world. So that's what we went for. I think she took a lot of references from Shimla, from old hill stations, and mixed them up with the storybook aesthetic.
Well, it looks tremendous. I mean, you must be very satisfied with it. Even the trailer looks beautiful, and it really kind of
Yes.
want to watch the film, really.
Yes, my design, my cinematographer Nico Sanjitsakis, my costume designer Purnamrita Singh. I mean, they've absolutely slayed. They've just outdone themselves. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this.
So tell us a little bit about the casting process, because obviously that, you've got a mix of newcomers and stars, and what was your thinking behind when you come to casting and the kind of actors that you have in the roles?
There are no stars in the film. There's only one actor, Mihir Ahuja, who plays Jughead, who's acted professionally before. They're all newcomers, and it took a long time. We knew we wanted newcomers because they're such iconic characters that you don't want any established actor's image to come onto the character or baggage to come onto the character. So there had to be no image to these kids. So we wanted new kids. We auditioned. Yeah, I work with two very good casting directors, Nandini Shri Kent and Karan Mali. She's done all my work. So she had an extensive, and they also had to be 17. So I mean, you had to go with newbies. So we tested many kids for various roles. So each of the actors tested for numerous parts to see who fit what well, and you have to look for, yes, is there a physicality that can match, and B, is the essence of that character in the personality of the actor, and once we caught a thread of that, it became okay. But Archie was cast last. He was the toughest.
How was it managing those actors? I mean, you've dealt with a lot of established stars, and now dealing with people who are really making their breakthrough.
I think it was great fun. I mean, I had a regimented boot camp for them. So they went into 3 acting workshops, they had dance classes, they all had to learn skills, or at least hone skills that they hadn't. Like Agastya learned to play the guitar, Mihir had to play the drums, the girls had to learn how to skate, they all had to be good on the cycle, somebody had to, so everybody was constantly workshopping something. They had extensive dance classes because it was a different period and a different style of dancing. That they had to learn, and when you're doing a musical, you have to sing. The audience has to believe you're singing, and for that one has to come on to set and actually sing. And people can get very self-conscious, so they were put into singing class, so they get over that. There's a technical aspect to acting that a first-time filmmaker may be intimidated by on set. How do you hit your mark? How do you catch your light? So I mean, they came to set thoroughbreds, let's just put it that way. They were really trained.
And in creating this kind of musical comedy, how difficult or challenging was that? I mean, it's not out and out comedy, but it obviously has fun elements, and it's different to Bollywood kind of music and dancing. So how did you approach that? What was the kind of thinking behind it?
I love working with music. I absolutely love it. I work with a music supervisor called Ankur Tiwari, and it's lovely working with him because he's also a writer. So he understands the mood of the story and where the narrative is at that point, and therefore what kind of music will lend itself best there. Shankar Ehsaan Loy were born to do this album. I mean, this is their jam. And then I work with Ankur and with Dot, who's a musician. She also plays Ethel. It was really fun. Because we recorded everything live, we did it all old school, you went back to rock and roll. I had my father do the lyrics, and he kind of had to collaborate with Dot, who's 23 years old. So it was all a mix mash, but it was great fun doing this album.
Would you like to do more of this type of work?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I won't say no, but the next one will have to be slightly different.
Okay.
Yeah, to wake me up. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.